That indeed has been the question on my mind. Why hasn't Aluna been banned? She has been picked up and performed so well in many a match today, as demonstrated in the match prior and the match before that. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if she's left on the board yet again, just because, well, players seem to operate out of habit more so than just kind of quick thinking like that. Just from kind of personal experience observing players of this magnitude. Only a couple of bans left, and we still seeth no Aluna. I don't know, man.
Tempted to go on there all chat, ban Aluna just to satisfy my curiosity. Why are you not banning her? We do see Demented Shaman, obviously, that amazing push power. Pebbles for his burst, Nymphora for the mana, Miraxis just being too tanky to kill. Yeah, what I don't get here is the Balfagor ban. Granted, he can push, but there's so many better options for a 2-on-2. I don't really predict Balfagor as being someone that you would just say, oh, we got to have Balfagor on our team. You know, we're gonna minion down their tower. So I don't know. I don't know exactly why they would spend a ban on that and then leave someone like a Luna on the board or any of the other heroes that we've been seeing, you know, really frequently today. A Luna, Torturer. Well, actually, Torturer is banned, but and that's Succubus, for instance, left on the board while banning Armadon and Balfagor. That makes very little sense to me.
So in the final game of the series, we're going to see Monkey King. Oh my God, we're going to see Succubus left open. Monkey King Aluna going to be picked up, instant ready, and we'll see what Jonas Some Fun does with this last pick here. Wow, you know what wouldn't be a bad choice is something like an Accursed right here. Support that Succubus maybe, although that might be a little bit too defensive. I'm just thinking about how to counter this Monkey King, because that was one of the things we brought up before. Pandemonium's still on the board, though. We did talk about that a bit as well, as he's a potential counter to Monkey King. Could we see that demonstrated here?
Maybe they can test my Flux theory and see if that would work for it. Whatever they do, they've got to get something that has enough burst, you know, to not only be able to survive Monkey King, but be able to put some damage back out on top of him. A Devourer would definitely be an option there, although if you hook Monkey King in, he's going to turn around and beat your face off and walk away. So I don't know if that would really work out too well. Now, if you can pull him in, and before level 6.
But keep in mind, though, the whole thing about Succubus and Devourer is that Mesmerize makes landing hooks very, very easy. So I don't know, that changes the state of the game a little bit. With this Devourer pickup. Polywog Priest, we saw the Succubus Polywog Priest in our very first game of the day, and they actually lost with that combo that we were both very, very excited about. To see that come out here in the last game of the finals would actually be quite interesting and somewhat titillating. And it is going to be a Polywog Priest, so I'm sufficiently titillated. I don't think I have been this excited throughout the entire tournament. This is one hell of a way to complete the finals.
Yeah, this is going to be hopefully not turn into a 50-minute stalemate like that first one did, and also hopefully the Succubus Polywog combo that we see here will be more aggressive than the one that we saw originally, because we've already seen demonstrated you can't win this by being passive, especially against a Monkey King, because that one game we saw with the Puppet Monkey King combination, they tried to play it safe, stay back, avoid the Monkey King. It doesn't matter. He's going to cover that much distance. He's going to get on top of you, and he's just going to wreck your face with his pole vault, his combos, and everything else. The only way to really counter him effectively, especially with a pair of squishies like that, is to push him back more so than try to hide from him. So I'm hoping we'll be able to see that reflected in the play from the Legion side. But on the other hand, a Luna Monkey King, you know, that's a strong combination no matter how you look at it. And me personally, Monkey King is one of my favorites to watch, but also probably my favorite hero to play. So I can't help but be slightly biased towards hoping the Hellborn team pulls this out. I love watching Monkey King do work.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we talked about that earlier. Watching Monkey King is always just fun. A pretty high skill cap hero, but man, can his burst be insane. Now, the thing about this Legion team, although very powerful, they really become powerful at that level 6 mark. Until they hit level 6, it's just an okay combo. I mean, they're going to be very susceptible to that early damage Monkey King can put out, especially when Aluna can set up some kills with that stun. So the problem we saw last time is by the time the Succubus and Polywog Priest were in a position where they were level 6, level 7, and could actually set up some kills and push the tower with the Polywog wards, they were already so far behind from going like 0-5 in the first 10 minutes that they just couldn't bring it back. So I think the golden ticket here is going to be to play a little bit defensively early on and just try and sit back, stay in experience rage, and then really turn up the gas once they hit level 6.
Yeah, and they do really need to be careful here because they're actually up against almost the same combination we saw that first time with an Aluna and what was the other hero they had in that first game? I'm having trouble remembering that far back at this point. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I can't remember either.
Oh, yeah, and the burst damage potential prior to level 6 for Monkey King and Aluna is still immense. Like level 5, they can already be, insta-killing. Even level 3 and 4, they can do just a tremendous amount of damage. And this was the exact same challenge that was faced by the last Succubus Polywog combination, because they were up against a team that was quite strong prior to level 6, and they just ended up steamrolling them. So by the time they were both 6, obviously it was too late. And this Monkey King Aluna combination has the potential to do that exact same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely right. And looking at the early farms here, Monkey King is sort of a leg up on everybody else. Looks like Succubus and Polywog are kind of sharing the farm, at least for now. Though Monkey King going to go in, and that's what we're talking about. A lot of damage coming out on the Polywog Priest, though the tongue tie in return. There's the Mesmerize onto Aluna. The double crowd control is coming out, and Succubus lining up for a heartache. Not going to be able to get it, unfortunately. Two very, very low Hellborn heroes, but no kills coming out. I'm not sure if that heartache actually would have been enough for the kill anyhow, so it may have been better just for Succubus to save. So that mana, but already being much more aggressive than what we're used to seeing this duo here.
Yeah, that Emerald Lightning stun from Aluna right there, I think, kept Monkey from biting it right at the end of that fight. Mm-hmm. And opting to conserve the mana was probably the smart move by Succubus, because at level 1, that skill is only, it's true damage, but it's only 90 damage, and it wouldn't have been enough to take out that Monkey King. He was pretty low, but I don't think he was under 90 HP. Yeah,
agreed. So, but still a lot of potential, and you can see the power of this lane combo, how much crowd control they can actually put out. And I'm actually going to be curious about item choices as well. Of course, we do see the Guardian Ring in the inventory of Polywog Priest, so naturally going to be moving towards the Ring of the Teacher. Succubus is going to head to the top lane, where they do have ward coverage, and she's going to pick up a haste rune. No bottle on the field quite yet, so she's just going to go ahead and use it.
She's going after the courier.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was going to run in there and try to snipe down that courier.
Yeah, almost. I'm not sure if she actually got a glimpse of it. It may have just been, scouting around, but you never know. Still kind of a close call. She's going to kite the creeps back though, and both sides here just going to get a free wave of creeps and should be able to pick up a couple of last hits. As they do move into the tower, so maybe that's all Succubus was aiming to do. It's kind of hard to say.
I can't help but think that doing that would actually give an advantage to Monkey King.
Yeah, I would agree. So perhaps not. I don't know. Who knows? But who knows? Maybe she did catch a glimpse of the courier after all, seeing that it wasn't upgraded. So, but again, looking at the warding situation, our Legion side does have sight of that top rune. The Hellborn team does have a ward down. Unfortunately, not giving sight of any of the rune spawns.
I think this is the second time during this event we've seen where one team has a ward, a very nice ward, the Legion side ward right there, providing vision of the runes on top as well as the bottom lane, whereas the Hellborn ward is only providing vision of the lane, but nothing of the runes. They've got no rune vision whatsoever. Yeah. And I can't help but think that maybe up on the cliff near the Ancients on the top side would have been a much better location for the Hellborn to plant their ward. But it looks like Succubus going up there to grab the top rune, but leaving Polywog behind, and he gets jumped on Monkey King dashing in, and he who picked that up? That got Aluna got the kill. But Succubus coming out of Invis, she manages to take out Monkey King, and she's going to put the Mesmerize on Aluna. Not going to have any really DPS to finish her off, so it's just harassing her with Mesmerize and a few auto attacks, but Aluna's going to get away here.
Yep.
And quite a turnaround. Fortunate for her to grab an Invis rune, be able to come back and get that kill on Monkey King, but you saw the way the Hellborn team just absolutely jumped all over that Polywog as soon as Succubus was gone for even a second, taking advantage of that incredible damage output.
Yep. Absolutely. That was well done by Succubus to drop that crowd control and position herself to get off as many auto attacks as possible. I mean, it was good that they killed Monkey King. Kind of unfortunate that they couldn't have just set that up and, you know, gotten a double tap or just gotten a free kill, and it had to be a one-for-one exchange. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there as far as Jonas, you know, staying a little bit too far forward while Sequence went to the top. But still 1-for-1. And who got the Bloodlust, actually? Was it a Luna? Yeah, it is. Okay, so
it was a Luna.
So definitely could have been worse then. The support was the one to pick it up.
Yeah, at least we're not seeing a repeat of last time. This Polywog Succubus combination, you can see that they're keeping up aggressive positioning, or at least fairly close to it. They're not past the creep wave. I don't think that'd actually be really smart against the Monkey King, but they are staying close enough to continually harass and try to zone out their opponents, which is gonna hopefully give them more of an advantage that the last one had. And there goes Monkey King, and again he's jumping onto Succubus, and he just jumps right back out. So not going to turn into an extended fight, but does get a decent amount of harass onto Succubus, drops her down below 50%.
Yep, absolutely right. Succubus going to sip up that bottle. She's going to guess top yet again. And is she going to fish her wish? Indeed, a very lucky Succubus. The second time in a row she's guessed correctly. She's going to be able to bottle up that illusion rune. And as we've seen over and over again in this event, the team with the rune control generally comes out ahead. It doesn't really even matter what their comp is. If you get most of the runes, you just, at least statistically here, from our bit of anecdotal evidence, will come out ahead, and we'll see if that holds true for this Legion side, but all it takes is one haste, one double damage to really swing the tide of things.
Yeah, whether it's a haste, a double damage, an invis, or a regen, they're all really really high potential for turning a fight around. And there goes Monkey King jumping onto Polywog. But a Mesmerize is going to come out to keep a Luna at bay, and Polywog is just going to back off.
Yeah.
So again, a little bit of damage for both sides, but no kills and no real potential to get a kill either, other than just watching him walk away.
Yeah, there was a little, Luna. I mean, I don't know why Polywog was pushed up so far. It was a really odd position for Jonas to be in. If he had his ultimate and was going to go in, then sure, but really wasn't a whole lot that he could do there. Just took a lot of tower damage for seemingly no reason.
And we are definitely coming down to crunch time here, as everybody is poised, just about to hit level 6. A very even game, 1-1 so far. It's really going to boil down to how well the Legion team manipulates their level 6 advantage over Aluna and Monkey King, both having those very passive ults. And then there's your answer. Monkey King going in. He manages to put out a ton of damage on Succubus, but she gets away. Now he's chasing Polywog. He's going to tower dive. And he loses vision of him in the fog for a split second, and that's all it takes for Succubus to get the beat off on him. Now the question is, can Polywog sneak out without getting hit by Luna? Yes, he does. And so now he's going to manage to back off.
Wow.
Sitting at 35 HP. And Luna now level 6, but she does not have enough mana to do the global snipe.
Yeah.
So Polywog's going to get away scot-free, and they're going to pick off Monkey King.
Yeah, Aluna actually going to go for that build that you were talking about. We're not opting for the Emerald Reed at level 6 just because you don't really need the global presence. You know, you're all in the mid lane most of the time anyhow, and Power Throw still has a very long range of about 1700. So, but that was so beautifully done by Jonas and Fawn right there, just getting tucked into that one little cranny for that fog. And unfortunately, Monkey King just overcommitted a little bit. Succubus also getting dangerously low, but using that Heartache at just about the right time. So, you know, it's really not so easy to use the Succubus Polywog Priest crowd controls and taper them the way they have been. We're going to see that level 6 mark commence, though, as we see Aluna get ward trapped. There's the tongue tie on the Monkey King. Succubus is level 6, but hasn't leveled up the ultimate yet. There it is. Not going to use it. Probably could have gotten a double tap if he had leveled up that ultimate and used it on Monkey King, but still very well done securing a kill onto Willy Wanker. Look at that level 6 power, though, Fairlight.
That is exactly what I was talking about. It's how they manage to manipulate those ults at level 6 is going to make or break the Legion team. The Hellborn team does not have an amazingly influential level 6 to fall back on. As you can see, as you mentioned, Aluna didn't even bother skilling hers, and when Monkey King gets his, all it is a little bit of movement speed and some cooldown reduction. It's not going to be anything game-breaking. And actually, he jumps in range of a level of a level 6 ult from Succubus. So there it is. As you can see, those ults just turning it around, and he just drops. And now they may be able to. I don't think they're quite going to finish off the tower, but they're going to put a significant amount of damage on it. And as long as they can keep keep taking advantage of that crowd control advantage that they have, along with the damage output from their ult combinations. The Legion team should be able to just keep on pushing up. Now, both Aluna and Monkey King do have a little bit of carry potential, more so than anything that Succubus and Polywog can put out. So in the extreme long run, they might have an advantage, but it's not going to go that long at this rate. And here we have a small skirmish engage. We've got Succubus somehow has her Mesmerize put on herself. A little bit of harassment going out onto Succubus, and she almost drops. And it looks like they're just going to back off. There's no kill going to happen here. Monkey King very low, and it looks like Succubus trying to get in range for a Mesmerize, and she lands it. Just barely in range. She picks off Monkey King as he tries to get back behind the tower, and heals herself for a good bit as well.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Dropping again.
Lovely. Beautifully done by Succubus right there to secure that kill. It looks like the Hellborn team, though, getting a little bit sloppy since that big momentum shift. It was dead even, then after that blunder with the two level 6 ultimate, or level 1 ultimates at level 6, I should say. I don't know. I mean, seeing Monkey King kind of suicide into the Succubus hold, and then that right there, just overall kind of sloppy play. I think every single rune now has gone in favor of our Legion team, as we see Polywog Priest head down to the bottom and bottle up the haste rune to fill up his bottle there. So, I don't know. I mean, level 6 Monkey King, as we see Succubus now level 8. Just looking at the farm, pardon me, difference, the raw creep scores, the Legion side starting to pull ahead now, and they were way behind for a while in this match. Even the GPM chart not looking so good for the Hellborn side here. Need to be careful, though. The ultimate's not quite up. There's the Polywog Priest ultimate, and they do manage to pick up that kill onto Monkey King. The tongue tie onto Aluna. No heartache, but he does have a Succubus hold, and Aluna's going to fall, and that is going to be yet another genocide here. And this Tier 1 tower destined to fall.
Yeah, and we have a Monkey King now, the polar opposite of what we saw last time Monkey King was in the game, where he just ran around killing everything. This time he's 0-5, off to just a really rocky start, and the Legion team is, like I said, they're just going to keep pushing and taking advantage of that. The crowd control advantage that they have, along with the damage output, is just insane in comparison with those ults. Now, subtract the ults, and the Hellborn team definitely has the advantage, but you really can't compete with that 5 full seconds of disable plus a ton of damage from Succubus, and the ability to just completely shut them down with Polywog having both a channeled hold and a regular hold, and Succubus's Mesmerize. This is what I was expecting to see in that first game that we saw.
Right. Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, they showed the power of this combo. Like I said, it's harder to execute than it looks because you have so many crowd control abilities. It's kind of one of those things that you have to be communicating very, very actively so that you don't mess it up and make it look as fluid as they did. But looks like the tower is just going to sack. So, of course, they can't concede quite yet as it is only 12.5 minutes in. But the tower does fall. So that's going to do it. Team Dog going to win the first Rawr 2v2 Open tournament. So very exciting indeed.
All right, well, that looks like the conclusion for the event. They can't actually concede, which is kind of funny, but as you said, Clan Dog taking it home, and Team I Kill You Farm, our first 2-on-2 champions. I don't know how long it'll be before we see another event like this, but I think anyone that's been tuning into this and watching the games, as well as the people that are competing in it, have probably learned a little bit here about effective team composition, what works, what doesn't. And, maybe we'll see this turn into a more common thing with a 2-on-2 tournament.
Absolutely right. So who knows? Like you said, I don't think there's another one scheduled on the books yet, but certainly not out of the questions. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, those of you that did tune in. I am Zyori, and joining me was Fairlight. And, of course, this tournament was put on by Clan Rawr. But I think that's going to do it. So, as always, guys, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. Go through, see if I have any decent VODs. May just upload this last game right here, as it was the ace match. And I think that last match was kind of the best one we saw all day. So, perhaps that'll be where we're going to go. But regardless, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in another cast.